Okay, I wasn't going to do this at first. You know, I thought about this. I heard about this contest, and I was thinking, well, you know, I don't have a lot of equipment. I don't have a green screen. I got a couple American flags you can see behind me here. Notice these flags don't have a gold fringe on them, okay? That means there's no Admiralty maritime law going on inside my home, okay? I heard Alex on the show on a pre-recorded radio from yesterday, I guess, and he was right. He was saying, hey, this is your chance to do something. This is your chance to say something, right? Thinking about it all. I was going to prepare, make notes. You notice there's no notes here, right? You know what? I've been doing this crap for like 30 years. I've been following these guys, okay? And this goes back to the Knights of the Templar Gates of the 17th century. Eustace Mullins, one of our finest historians, probably ever to be on the continent, and Ezra Pound. And the whole thing about the secrets of the Federal Reserve and all that. But these people now are totally out of control. You know, but I'm looking at this Obama thing with Charlie, and it's nauseating, okay? I can see why Alex, how he gets on his show. And I can see why even guys like Louis Black and that was just want to jam a pencil in the side of their head, because these people are moronic. This isn't funny stuff. Nobody's taking... Let me back up. Don't say nobody. A lot of people are taking this seriously, but a lot of people aren't. You people in the United States, how many of you have actually read the 340 some odd pages of the Patriot Act of 2001? Have you? I've read it. This is just out of control. When does your freedom really matter anything to you? Do your civic rights that are in the Bill of Rights matter anything to you? Because they've been constantly on a course barrage to take them away from you. Bush isn't the only one, but he's probably one of the nastiest ones. There's other documents too, like this. God, they get eugenics going on now. 1,100 page document on that. I'm still trying to get pieces of that so I can read that. Okay? I implore you and everybody to do your own research, own your own knowledge. Okay? It makes me sick to my stomach to think that our country, okay, is involved. They're involved up to here with this, okay? This 9/11 thing is the most hideous thing. My hearts go out to all the people and their families and people who lost friends and family and all lost souls of that day. My entire life, there's been a lot of airline crashes, commercial airline jets, all right? We've all seen them. We've seen them on TV. We've seen them in the magazines. We've seen them in the various places, right? Always a messy thing. People injured, people killed. It's miraculous when somebody walks away from one, right? But what's the one thing in common about airline crashes? I don't care if they crash into a building or if they crash into a swamp in Florida or where. What is the number one thing that it has in common between all airline crashes in history? Is they recover parts. I mean, when the airline blew up over the Atlantic Ocean, right? They put 85% or more of that jet back together in the United States in a hangar. But when an airliner plummets into the side of the Pentagon or crashes into a hole in the ground in Virginia or Pennsylvania or wherever the hell that was, it's like, they don't even find a wheel strut. There's no fan jets, right? And then the only fan jet or something that looked like a fan jet that they found at the Pentagon was about the size of my room here, right? You know what that is? That's a drone. That's a missile. That's not a jet. There's so much crap about this. It's our president, it's our judges, it's our courtroom, it's our flag, it's our country. It's not yours. It doesn't belong to him and his wife. It doesn't belong to these select few, these elites that think they're going to get rid of all of us off the planet so they can jump on their silvery spaceship and go off into, you know, Uranus or wherever it is, I guess, where a better life exists. I don't know. These people are nuts. So one, you got airliners, okay? Airliners leave parts behind. And furthermore, where are those jets? Where did they take them? And what did they do with the people that were on board? I don't hear anybody asking that question either. As far as the buildings coming down, come on, we've seen demolition so many times on Channel 9 and public television. It's not even funny. You don't even have to be an architect to figure that out. You can just look at that and say, wow, look what they're doing. When I saw those buildings come down on live TV the morning of 9/11, I said to myself, the son of a bitches, they're pulling the buildings. I mean, it upsets me. It brings tears. This whole thing really, I'm upset. I'm pissed off. I'm, you know, it's time to pick up the rifle, folks. You know what? You know what's next? Is just like they're all talking about, right? They're gonna like take our food. They're gonna like lock you up. They're gonna like people like me to have things to say. Boom. Let's get those FEMA guillotines going. Get that guy's head off so we can get his mouth off of the air. I hope, you know, I didn't even check to see if this camera was aimed right. I hope it is. It was a guess. I just set it up on the tripod and I just did this because I don't know how much time I get. I haven't even read the rules of this contest. I'll read them after, and hopefully this is right, because I'm going to mail this in. I don't care. This 9/11 thing is you know, investigation, and they make fun about the, you know, that it needs investigating. Like, oh, we just need to be, what does Obama say? Oh, we just need to move on. Oh, do we? We just need to move on and forget that this happened. Okay? Meaning, for example, right? There's, you know, besides Alex Jones, there's other groups than that, and people that are protesting down in New York City, down in Manhattan, in the Manhattan area down there, right? And you take like one particular day, there'll be like 3,000 people down there, right? All right, you take a moment and just realize that all the people that are down there protesting, right? There were more people than that murdered and killed on the day of 9/11. I mean, just imagine all those people, they all, boom, went down in those buildings. And then that woman, right, of the Environmental Protection Agency, right? She said, no, the air is safe, the air is safe. How many tens of thousands are gonna die and are dying with lung-related diseases and lung-related medical problems because they breathed that dust and were down there? And not only just first, you know, not just the people, firemen and policemen that showed up to help, but citizens and people that are in the area. Oh, and then the metal, right? I mean, God, they sold that metal. Did you notice? Did you notice that the pieces of the iron fit right onto the flatbeds, and they just drove them off? And next thing you know it, the things are on a boat, and they're going to China, and it's sold. But they say just enough, just a little bit, so we can build a New York, USS New York boat or whatever, so we can bring it in the harbor and make everybody feel proud, thumping their chest. And we now have a warship boat thanks to 9/11. You know, this is the most ungodly crap I've ever heard, ever seen. In closing, President Barack Obama, this message comes from me, Charlie Sheen, Alex Jones, and the nation. I want to thank you for listening to the facts here, but honestly, I must say, I don't really think you show any promise, and I don't think you have any intention to open up a new 9/11 investigation. It's a pretty sad state of affairs, but we're not going to give up, and we're not going to go away. So you just remember, be on the right side of history, like Charlie said.
Where did those people all go? And what did they do with those planes? UA-77, 175 were a scam. Again they lied to us. What did they do with those planes? And where did those people all go? UA-77, 175 were a scam. Again they lied to us. Where did those people all go? And what did they do with those planes? UA-77, 175 were a scam. Again they lied to us. What did they do with those planes? And where did those people all go? UA-77, 175 were a scam. Again they lied to us. Where did those people all go? And what did they do with those planes? UA-77